In March of 2025, my daughter and I climbed the Duomo in Florence. The Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore was built beginning in 1296. It is located on the Piazza Duomo. If you get dizzy or claustrophobic easily, this video might not be for you, because as we were winding up, we were in a very tight enclosed space. There are 463 steps to climb from bottom to top of the Duomo. By comparison, Giotto's bell tower has 414 steps. There is not an elevator, and you shouldn't attempt it if you're claustrophobic, because it is a tight space almost the entire time. Luckily, there is a separate route for those going up as those coming down, except at the very top, where those ascending and descending share a single ladder and have to take turns. The Brunelleschi Dome took 140 years to complete. The cathedral is the third largest cathedral in the world. The dome was completed without wood scaffolding. More than 4 million bricks were used to build the dome. It is the largest brick dome in the world. The Duomo has a 15th century clock that runs counterclockwise. The dome also has a small hole that acts as a sundial by casting a beam of light to mark solar noon. On the way up, you get to walk around the inside of the dome before continuing to climb. On the way down, again you get to go into the dome, but you are a level above where you were on the way up.
Mm. なんか怒ってるなって。すごい。何が問題かってちょっと怖い。怖いの？ 本当だ。階級だね。下から。あとどのぐらい登るんだ。ちょっと待って。もちろん。もちろん。
As we got closer to the top, we had longer wait times, as those in the front of our group slowed down a little bit. This was one of the few parts of the climb that had handrails.
すぐ下が怖い。余力があったり、一段なんか引っかかったらいける。なんかそこの
I don't want to think about that right now. We'll talk about that later. Those are steep. Right here is where the ascending and descending routes divide. This is where we had to wait a little bit to let people come down, and then we had to wait a little bit to go down to let people come up. If you're afraid of heights like I am, then being out in the open air on the dome might be a little much, so be prepared for that. That is where we climbed up, and also where we would climb back down.
New Jersey, New York, Texas. Where in Texas?
I chose to face backwards to climb down this short section. The stairs are narrow, and sometimes my heels would catch on them, making me a little bit nervous that I might fall. But I was okay.
No.
Smart idea, honestly.
There are only handrails at a few places along the climb where they are necessary.
There's rails on this part.
Aside from being out in the open air of the dome, this was probably the second scariest part of the climb for me because of my fear of heights. Luckily, the handrails were placed in strategic locations so that I was okay climbing down. We chose to purchase the Brunelleschi Pass so that in addition to climbing the Duomo, we could also climb the bell tower and visit the baptistry, the museum, the Reparata, and the cathedral. We scheduled our dome climb in the first available time slot and then had plenty of time to see everything else on Piazza Duomo. Each of the sites have different opening times, beginning with the Duomo and the bell tower, which both open at 8:15 a.m. The Reparata has the latest opening time of 10:45. We had plenty of time to see everything in Piazza Duomo and still make it to our secret passages tour of the Palazzo Vecchio, in addition to visiting Boboli Gardens and Pont Vecchio. Luckily, all of these things are relatively close together. Climbing the 463 steps to the top of the dome isn't terribly strenuous, although the steps are steep at times and sometimes narrow as well. Climbing down actually felt more steep than on the way up. This was my second time climbing the Duomo, so I felt like I was more prepared about what to expect. Someday, when I return to Florence again, I'm sure I will climb the Duomo again. It is one of my favorite things about Florence, in addition to seeing Michelangelo's David and visiting the Palazzo Vecchio. As you can see, this part is a little bit scary as far as heights and if you tend to get claustrophobic. I still think it's worth it, and it's also short-lived because the climb itself does not take very long. We're almost to the part where we get to go onto the inside of the dome again. The first time I visited, I didn't realize that I was a level higher on the inside of the dome when climbing down than I was on the climb up. There's glass separating us on the inside of the dome, and I'm guessing it's both to keep us safe and also to help prevent a great deal of noise down in the cathedral as we're walking around up above. This part of the climb down was the most narrow and winding, especially near the inside of the spiral.
tells you that when you buy the tickets.
Because I did like,
So be sure. Yeah, it's like, don't do it if you can't, if you're not physically fit and if you're afraid of heights and if you're claustrophobic. Ooh. They did send us down a different side. I didn't see that written right.
right, we just have a statue room.
Yeah. How are you feeling? I'm so sweaty.
If you look closely, you can see people walking around the inside of the dome, like we did just minutes before.